Welcome back to Reality Glitch, where we often explore the grand cosmic what-ifs. But today, our question is deeply personal, inspired by a song that resonated with millions. What if God was one of us? Not a distant deity enthroned in the heavens, not an abstract universal force, but just a slob like one of us, a stranger on the bus trying to make their way home. What would that look like? How would that change our perception of the divine, and more importantly, of ourselves and each other? Imagine this entity, the ultimate creator, the sum total of all that is, choosing to experience existence through the messy, beautiful, flawed lens of a single human life. No trumpets heralding their arrival, no divine glow visible to the naked eye, just an ordinary person. Perhaps they are the quiet barista who serves you coffee with a knowing, gentle smile. Maybe they're the tired commuter slumped in the subway seat opposite you, eyes full of an ancient weariness and an equally ancient love for the chaotic world unfolding before them. What would their daily life be? Would they perform miracles? Perhaps not in the parting of seas, fire from heaven kind of way. Maybe their miracles would be quieter, almost invisible. A perfectly timed word of comfort to a stranger, an unexpected moment of beauty they subtly orchestrate in the mundane, a sudden wave of inexplicable peace felt by someone in despair who just happens to be near them. Miracles of connection, of empathy, of quiet grace, easily dismissed as coincidence by a world not looking for God in the face of a passerby. How would this human God perceive our world? With infinite compassion, certainly, but also perhaps with a profound sense of loneliness. To hold the knowledge of all creation, all joy, all suffering within a finite human form must be an almost unbearable burden. To see the wars we wage, the cruelty we inflict, the planet we harm, all while knowing the interconnectedness of everything, might bring a sorrow too deep for ordinary tears. Yet they would also see the immense courage, the boundless love, the acts of selfless kindness that bloom even in the darkest corner.
Would anyone recognize them? The song asks, if God had a face, what would it look like? And would you want to see, if seeing meant that you would have to believe in things like heaven and in Jesus and the saints and all the prophets? This is the crux of it. We have so many preconceived notions, so many rigid structures built around the idea of God. Would we be able to see divinity if it didn't conform to our doctrines, our images, our expectations? Or would we walk right past, dismissing them as just another person? Imagine the questions you'd want to ask if you did somehow know. Why is there so much suffering? What is the meaning of it all? Are you okay? And what would their answers be? Perhaps they wouldn't answer in grand pronouncements, but through their actions, their quiet presence. Maybe the answer to suffering is found in the way they gently help an elderly person cross the street, or in the understanding look they give to a crying child. Maybe the meaning of it all is simply in the shared human experience, in the trying, the failing, the loving, the losing. This God among us wouldn't be here to judge or to demand worship. They would be here to understand, to experience, to be. Perhaps their very presence, their choice to be just a slob like one of us, is the ultimate act of love and solidarity. A way of saying, I am not separate from you. Your struggles are my struggles. Your joys are my joys. It would redefine holiness, not as something distant and perfect, but as something found in the grit and grace of everyday human life, in the sacred ordinary.
If we truly believed this, how would it change us? Would we treat every stranger with a little more kindness, a little more reverence, knowing they might be carrying the weight of the universe in their heart? Would our hierarchies collapse, our judgments soften, if the divine could be found in the homeless person on the corner as easily as in the king on his throne? It forces us to confront our own biases, our own definitions of worth. The reality glitch here is the shattering of our constructed images of God and the dawning realization that the sacred might be far more democratized, far more imminent than we ever dared to imagine. Perhaps the point isn't whether God is literally one of us, riding the bus. Perhaps the point is to act as if they are, to see the divine potential in every human face, to treat each encounter as a brush with the sacred. That in itself might be the miracle the song and this thought experiment is truly pointing towards. A world where we all try to see God in each other, and in doing so, perhaps we begin to find it in ourselves. A divine incognito, walking our streets, sharing our silence. What if the face of God is simply the face of the person next to you? What acts of quiet grace have you witnessed lately? Share your reflections in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and continue to seek the extraordinary in the ordinary with us at Reality Glitch.